DevilDriver are getting ready to head down to Australia for some shows.
We are. I'm excited about these shows. It's going to be a good time for sure. We're bringing Whitechapel with us, and we were with them for two months in the United States, and the shows were incredible. So we're looking forward to it.
Is this Winter Kills tour going to continue for much longer after Australia?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're still on Winter Kills. The record is just performing amazing around the world. So we're trying to keep this touring cycle go. And I think Australia is going to be it for us as far as more than one day. After that, we're going to play the Knockfest here in California with Slipknot. And then we're going to take a nice prolonged break that I think is necessary and really needed for the band.
Oh, yeah. So is this like a complete break, or is this like a writing break?
I write daily, but it's more of we've been touring for, almost 11, 12 years. In that time, we put out 6 records. We've never really come off the road. Most bands come off the road for a year and a half at a time, and we've never really done that. So it's time to get back to family and get back to real life. So after the Knockfest in October, we're going to take time off, and then you'll probably see a new record from us. I don't know, maybe around 2016, if the cards play themselves correctly.
Have you always been involved in music and playing in bands?
Yeah, I've been in bands. I mean, music was my getaway from the time I was, very, very young. I had a pretty tumultuous background growing up. We don't have enough time to go into that, but what kept me going through my parents fighting and divorces and moving and this and that and, et cetera, et cetera. I think music just kept me going. So I've always been in bands. And my first band that I was in actually was a psychobilly band when I was 14 and 15 years old, called the Screaming Wolves. And I just, from then on, I've just been in bands. And I've always had a love of all music. So everything from psychobilly to Bauhaus to Love and Rockets to, to everything heavy to black metal to blues, a ton of blues. I mean, it's not unusual to catch me listening to Black Flag and then listening to Billie Holiday and Black Sabbath all in the same sitting. So, you know what I mean?
And I guess that has a strong effect on your songwriting.
I think so. I mean, it's the same way within DevilDriver. Everybody listens to a very diverse range of music. And I think it's what makes our music different. And that and the numerous players that have come in and out and around the band, I think it's everything has been to date really just to make the project evolve, A, so we don't really sound like anyone else, and B, so we keep ahead of the game and ahead of the clique for sure, and don't fall into anything stagnant artistically.
Well, DevilDriver have been pretty successful in their career, and you have done a lot, and I suppose you have a lot of special memories in that, but is there anything that stands out in your mind? Well,
I had this in the last interview. I mean, success is a measured thing, and each man measures its success differently. I mean, I measure my success by being able to take care of my wife and my children. So by that, yeah, I'm successful. As far as a special memory, I have so many of them. I'm nothing but a bricklayer, construction guy who got lucky. Now I've been in music 20 years, and I'm thankful for every time I'm on stage, every fan that comes, or gold records that have come in the past. Everything to me has been kind of a dream. And if I had to pick one spot, it would be singing with Ozzy was incredible. On my first tour ever with Coal Chamber, I looked up in a balcony in front of about 40 people and saw Glenn Danzig looking at me, and he came backstage and asked me to go on tour with him. And that was one of my, I used to drive as a bricklayer back and forth to work to San Diego almost 2 hours every day, and all I would listen to is that first Danzig record. So, my memories are incredible for the fact that I still think I'm dreaming. It's like pinch me, but that's never gone away. That love of music, or that being a fan of other musicians, or being a fan of being around the life I get to live, that's never left me, So to pick one special moment would be very, very, very hard. I mean, if I hadn't had Sharon Osbourne as my manager or done a song with Ozzy, I would have never left his house for dinner one night and then met my wife as she was coming out of a restaurant, and we've been together almost 16 years now, married, going on 13. So, life's little treasures and little ways weave you through these hallways in life, and you just have to. I tend not to look back yet, is what I guess I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Did you say Sharon Osbourne was your manager?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, Sharon Osbourne managed me for many, many, many years. Managed Coal Chamber for many, many years. When the Osbourne kids were young, and I mean that's why Coal Chamber has done Ozfest more than any band but Ozzy. And so doing a song with Ozzy was pretty incredible. It was a pinch me moment. Even though I'd been to the house and had breakfast cooked for me, it was still like, okay, hold on a minute, we're on the mic together. That's incredible, you know.
Yeah. So that has been an interesting ride then.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that there's more interest to come. It's what I'm trying to say. I don't really look back. I just kind of put my head down forward and try to make more art, move forward, and get more tours. And I'm sure one day I'm going to have to stop and just, somebody asked me a question the other day. They said, have you ever sat down and listened to all the records that you've made or all the music that you've made? And I said, no, not really. Sometimes when we finish a record, after I listen to the first mix, I never hear the record again. It's just not my way to sit around and listen to my own stuff. But my wife said to me, somewhere down the line here, let's sit back one day and put on all the music you've made. And I said, okay, maybe one day, like 10 years down the line.
Yeah, I guess because you don't have to listen to the record necessarily because you're playing the songs all the time, rehearsing and getting out there and playing them.
Yeah, it's true. And then listening to your own art is a little weird. My wife and I both throw pottery as well. We're both potters. And the person that teaches us, he says the same thing. Like, I never look back on the shelf at all of my old work and wonder if I can do that again because I'm moving forward with other things. And so that's really where I'm at with my career. I've got a lot to do, a lot more music to make with multiple bands. So as far as looking back, it's a difficult process. But and as far as picking one moment, that's a very hard thing to do.
Well, I did read the two guitarists and bass player in your band are all getting their own signature guitars. Has that actually happened yet, or is that in the works at the moment?
Yeah, they've got their signatures, and they deserve it. They're good at what they do. They helped design these things down to the last, down to the color, down to everything that's in the necks and. So I'm proud of them for that. I mean, anytime my guys all of my guys are endorsed, but anytime they get endorsements, it's a proud moment. In the beginning, I used to have to walk musicians that were with me into the companies. Now it's to the point where companies come to the musicians that are surrounded with me, and ask them for endorsements. So I feel appreciative to be around such artists because everyone that's I'm surrounded with from DevilDriver and Coal Chamber, musician-wise, all really do their thing at the top of their game for what they do. So it's cool to be around and to see that,
Well, you said you write every day. Is there anything you do as a hobby or you already said that, didn't you? You do pottery.
Yeah, well, I mean, when I'm home, I write daily, but I mean, I paint a lot. My wife and I both paint. I sculpt. I love the arts. It's the one thing that got me through in life. Not just music, but the arts in general. I read and I digest books like iced tea on a hot day. I mean, like boom, I can go through a book in a day and move on to the next one. So that's what I like to do when I'm home. Basically, I'm a normal guy. I garden with my wife and hang out with my kids. And I've got a Great Dane and a Doberman following me around the house right now as I pace, which is hilarious. And and my Great Dane that's just following me around a pool table right now. It's so funny. And I'm a normal guy at home,
I think it's funny that you're pacing because I can usually tell when people are, but I didn't realize you were.
No, well, I suffer from ADD my whole life and ADHD now in my later years, so it's a difficult process to get me to sit down for more than 20 minutes. I mean, I'm not the kind of guy you ever want to try to take to a movie because I'm not going to make it. I told Andrew Hogue, I told him the last interview, I told him, yeah, Star Wars, I'm going to the movie theater. Otherwise, no.
Yeah, I was going to ask, the tour is, of course, the Winter Kills tour, but you will be doing, I suppose, a few older things from DevilDriver as well, not just the album.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. From what I know, both bands get an hour and 10 minutes on stage, so that's going to be incredible. And I believe in giving our main support, those that are playing before us, like enough time to do their gig. So Chapel's going to at least get an hour, and we're going to have at least an hour, hour and 10. So yeah, we'll play a lot off of Winter Kills, definitely, at least 4 to 5 songs, and then we're going to play a bunch from all the other records as well. As many as we can play.
Awesome. And I'll tell people it's DevilDriver.com that they can go to find out more about you, get hold of the album and merchandise.
Definitely go to DevilDriver.com, or you can get me on Twitter. I'm at Evil River, like Devil Driver without the D's. And I've also got an Instagram under Dez Fafara stuff. And Devil Driver has an Instagram as well. And there's Devil Driver USA Twitter as well. So Devil Driver USA official Twitter.
Did you say you're Devil Driver without the D's on Twitter?
Yeah, well, my personal Twitter is Evil River, which is Devil Driver without the D's.
All right. Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was always a running joke with me, like, what would Devil Driver be without D? I was like, Evil River. I was like, perfect. Okay, that's gonna work. So me and my wife had a laugh at it, and it turned into what is my Twitter headline, which is hilarious years and years later. But I have a lot of good times on social media. Tremendously reclusive on the road. Unless there's a meet and greet, it's going to be difficult to meet me. It's just because I'm very reclusive, and being in crowds of people is a strange thing for me. So social media gives me an outlet. I get to get on Instagram and show people pictures of my dogs and my kids and what I do at home and my wife, and a little more intimate. And then Twitter, I can have direct conversations. So I love that. It's a great outlet. And had I had that outlet when I was younger and could tweet Ozzy or somebody and he answered me back, I'd be freaking out. So I tend to try to get on there once every day or two and at least try to answer a couple questions and get back to people.
Well, I am following you on Twitter now. You will be in Australia. You will be in Australia in September on Friday the 5th in Brisbane at the Hi-Fi, Saturday the 6th and in Sydney at the Hi-Fi, and Sunday the 7th at 170 Russell in Melbourne. And as we said, DevilDriver.com, people can get hold of tickets there, and you're also Devil Driver official one on Facebook, but people just put in Devil Driver, it comes up pretty quickly anyway.
Yeah, definitely. And there's, and then you hit me up on Instagram or Twitter anytime you want. So
yeah, I will share your Twitter page. Evil River, definitely. Thank you very much. I look forward to your shows.
More than welcome, and thank you very much for your support of the show.
Is there anything you want to throw into your fans?
Come down and get in the pit. I want these shows to be insane.
Awesome.
It's basically the last shows on the Winter Kills run, so we want to go out with a bang. So come on down and get nuts with us.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.